Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Yes, you can use the regular number, Julia. That's absolutely right. I just got us on there, so thank you. You can definitely jump on. Okay, so let's get started. It's so nice to be here with everyone tonight. Do I have a little background noise? Ah, I know what it is. Give me just 1 second and I'll be right back. My apologies. Okay. Yay! So the background's a little different today. I am sitting in my mother's home in Missouri. And let's see, it's asking to start the broadcast again, so just 1 second. Sometimes Ustream. Let me just make sure. Can you all, let's see. Can you see me? Ah, there we go. Perfect. Great. Good evening. How are you? Yes, you can absolutely phone in to the call line. It is definitely working. I am here in beautiful Marshall, Missouri. So the backdrop's a little bit different tonight. And I apologize for the moments that it took for the phone to start working. But yes, Julia, you can call in there. And we're all set. So let's get started. I am so excited. So excited to be here with you all this evening. And I think we're going to start. I love starting by just taking a moment and closing our eyes and do a little bit of a meditation visualization because I think that's good to sort of clear the decks from before and really get present with what's going on. So if you'll take a moment and just close your eyes and scan and see if you have any stress in your body. And if so, if you can just take your focus there and a nice deep breath and breathe out any tension or let go of whatever's been going on in your day. And I just really want you to focus on what you came to this class for. And not only specifically tonight, but in general. What is your goal in being in this class? And I want you to really clearly, concisely state that for yourself. And so, all throughout the evening, as we work together, I just want you, whenever a frustration or a question or an aha comes up, just go back to and this is my goal. Is this meeting my goal? Am I getting off course? Am I making it to the Eiffel Tower, or am I just meandering the roads that might get me there? And just be open to getting there. You'll be amazed sometimes how easy it is to achieve a goal. Sometimes we think there's a lot of struggle involved, and I have to say that the things that have really just fallen into my life sometimes are the most wonderful things. So be prepared. Tonight might be the night when you meet your goal for the class. So let's open our eyes. I have body tension. I am wedding planning. And it is interesting and tricky and good. So, okay. So I'm totally psyched to be here with you all tonight. And I've been thinking a lot about a few things. I'm just going to be really honest and transparent. So I've noticed that there are fewer comments in the forum for the second week in terms of the homework, and and I thought I'm going to be totally transparent here. I thought, is there a way that I'm delivering the information that's making it difficult for people to receive it? And I did what I do, which is go and have a consult with my business partner and really look at, like, what's my goal in being here? What am I meant to deliver in these classes, and how am I doing in terms of that? And what are other options? What's other input that I could contemplate in terms of helping you all meet your goals? Because it's one thing to deliver the information, and then it's another thing to celebrate with you all when you're achieving your goals. So I want to start with talking about that. And what's interesting is, it's like two layers of thinking are going on. At the same time, what I'm realizing as I'm saying this is that tonight in week 3, what we're going to cover is about finding out what products and services your target market will buy, and what package they can come in, and what the price point should be, and all of that. And so it's sort of interesting because, quite frankly, here I am interacting with my target market and going, okay, wow. So I want to make sure, that I'm delivering the results that they're wanting. So I just find it interesting when life sort of travels in two paths all at once. So first of all, be in the path of being in my target market, and then we'll take you to the path of figuring out things from your target market. But if you can also sort of develop a third eye or an objective eye from above it and start to look at what are the similarities between these two processes, that'll be really helpful. That is so wacky. The sun is moving because it's getting ready to go down, and it just totally changed the colors on the screen. That's wild. It's good to be around nature. So, here are the things that I really want to convey and connect with you regarding. First off, imperfection. You are welcome to implement any of this information as imperfectly as you would like, and you will still get tangible results. Please know, even if you look at Zuckerberg, who's the head of Facebook, and what's happened recently this week with people seeing instant messages from him when he was a teenager, which was like 6 years ago, and he had started the basics for Facebook, and one of his friends IM'd and said, why are people giving you their personal information? And he said some expletive because they're, whatever the expletive is. And Facebook is still going. Facebook is still fine. I've heard about the people are like, drop Facebook day or whatever. None of this really having any input on what we're doing in terms of Facebook. It's good to know about, but at the same time, it's really probable that we're all going to make mistakes. And it's also, I have to say there was an interesting moment this week, and you all are welcome to look at my like page. And I had put a post up. I didn't know if I wanted to broadcast it to everyone or not. But I put up something about, I used to be a love coach, and someone that I actually do social media work for, she was talking about a particular kind of love coaching, and she was thinking about taking it, and I was like, I'm certified in that modality. She was like, oh my gosh, can I take from you? And I was like, okay. It was so interesting, and so I had put something up on my fan page about that because I don't want to just be all business all day. And I also found what was really interesting about it is that I'm in the process of getting married, and so of course I'm attracting people to me like that. It's a good time for them to be attracted to me like that. They're someone that I can certainly help. And so the message underlying what I posted was actually first of all, in case there are other love coaching people out there who'd like love coaching, I'm available. But I didn't put a post that said that. If you look back earlier in the week, you'll see what I put. And then the very first comment that I got was someone who said that they would feel humiliated if they saw that on my wall. And I thought, here is the perfect lesson for my class to understand. Like, I have gone out, and my first response was I wanted to delete it. I just was like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what I did, and I had put the word funny, and I thought maybe she thought I was laughing at my client, and then I revisited my steps, and my client has corresponded with me on my Facebook wall about doing the love coaching. So I thought, you know what, this is okay with this person. And so rather than running from it, I really engaged in it. And it could have been looked at as a horrible mistake. And at the end, and I really had to sort of up the ante because I get it. In social media, you're really visible. So I had to say to her, like, oh my goodness, I would never intend to humiliate anyone. And as I'm exposing myself more and more, a lot of the people on my like page are people who can't be my friends because I've got too many. And then also what you'll start to happen is when you hit that critical mass, you will have so many people asking you to be friends every day. Like I don't even know, I've got thousands of pending friend requests because everyone starts to see that you're a friend of 30 of their friends. And so what happens very often for me and for you, what will happen when you get to that point is a lot of people who want you for business or are in your target market will just start friending you. It's the beauty of social media, especially Facebook. And so I thought, oh my gosh, a lot of these people may have not ever even seen a post from me. What should I do? And so it ended up, and this is always the case, that whatever is most difficult, your client that's most difficult can become your biggest fan. And by the end of it, I mean, in the middle of it, what I had to sit there and realize was, this person is actually my target market. If she's having humiliation come up about wanting to be in love, this is probably somebody who actually needs me. And so what I did was, after engaging in a conversation with her, um, she was amazing. Like, what a lovely, lovely being. She took full responsibility for it. She said, I know it's my stuff. Um, but, you know, she did come out of the gate chomping a little bit at the bit. It felt like to me. Who knows how it reads for other people. And at the end, I said to her, you know, if I can ever be of support, please let me know. And she was like, that's really gracious. Thank you so much. And I bet I'll hear from her again. So the lesson in this is, please simply start taking action. And I know there's a lot to absorb in the content of the course, but please start. And I love the, if it's not working, it's broken. So if you're not being retweeted on Twitter, start writing different tweets. If you're not having people respond to you in your Facebook posts, start putting question marks at the end, ask for input. If you're not finding that there's a group of at least 3 to 5 raving fans who are on your page almost daily saying great things about the things you're doing, start getting on other people's pages and start talking about their stuff on a daily basis. And I would also say our first assignment from last week was to think up about 3 people. Who are the 3 people who could impact your business the most, and get in touch with them? And I saw in the forum that there was someone who said, and I loved it because she asked you all for input, and the social media is about community. It is all about community. As I go through this wedding thing, I can throw up a post and be like, oh, wedding planning is so tough. And then people that honestly I don't even know will say, call me if you need support, or will give me great information. I mean, I had a wonderful teacher at one point who said, you can't choose who shows up, but someone will. And that's the case. So yes, get your 3 to 5 raving fans, but then also just put it out there. You're going to be amazed at the people that will interact with you. So in the think up category, someone had put in the forum, are we really just supposed to approach them like Lindsay says? And the answer is yes. If you are not asking for anything, if you are simply going to someone and telling them how much they mean to you, or how they've inspired you, or that sort of thing, no one hates that. Imagine if someone just popped up in your email box or DM'd you on Facebook or Twitter, and said, you totally inspire me. Like Scott Bale's life coach, who was on a reality TV show. I love her. And I sent an email one day. I was like, you were the first life coach I ever saw that I was like, yes, and I adore you. And she wrote back, she's like, you made my day. And we've got a phenomenal relationship now. Like, if I needed to call her and say, can you do something on a call for me about whatever, she'd probably do it, because what we really want is connection. What we really want is love. And it may not be that they end up being someone who buys your product, but you will be blown away just by up-leveling your thinking and looking in an exponential way at all the opportunities for so many people to help you. You will be amazed. So yes, and it doesn't, I will tell you too, I'm doing the homework along with you. So for instance, I called my childhood minister this week and I said, can you marry me? And he doesn't know if he can. So it's not always going to be good. I'm still in a holding pattern. I have no idea who's going to officiate my wedding yet. But you know what? Someone will show up and it will be fine. And then the other thing I thought is, well, that's one person and I'm supposed to do 3 people. So there's someone that I really, really want to do a wedding blessing for me in California. And I know that they don't handle their own social media, so I'm going to need to approach that person in person. And so that's on my list also to do. So if you've not gotten the homework done, don't be dissuaded either. You can still continue, jump in, but action is extraordinarily powerful. And it doesn't have to be great. When someone finally said, I don't know what it was, but I sent out a newsletter once that was not perfect. And it was so freeing to just be like, you know what? just because of a missed font or something, like that's not why people come to you to do business with you or not. If you are completely invisible and people can't see you and don't know about you, it's going to be terrifically difficult for them to come to you. So it's the alarm on the house. I apologize. It rings every time someone goes in or out. It shouldn't continue to happen. So, and then the other piece that I would say, because I love my little sister, and I said to my sister, I said, I don't know if they're doing all the homework. Like, I'm not even getting all the homework done. And I really want results for them. And my sister is a lot more to the point and direct, and I love her. And she said, well, the deal is, like, if people aren't doing their homework, they're not going to get the results. So tell them that. I was like, I don't know if I can really tell them that. But I will tell you, for instance, that last week I jokingly said something about world peace, and like maybe world peace could be solved through social media. And bizarrely, a huge opportunity came into my lap this week that very much revolves around world peace, amazingly enough, and affecting that through social media. So I just think it's really important. Even this week, if you just go out there and put what your dream is as a post one day, if you put that as your status update on LinkedIn, like that is so incredibly powerful. But it does require you to be visible. It does require you to be verbal. It does require you to let people access you to buy your services. So I just want you to think about those things. And if you're not able to get anything else done, those are the key things. And then the other tip that I would give you is this, because I was thinking, well, how can I get them results? What can I do? And this is what I would say. The smartest, easiest tip for you all to become a lot more visible and a lot more successful is to hook up with me on social media. I have a lot of people who follow me, a lot of people who know me, and I am more than happy. I am so desirous of you doing well that if you even put a post up that says, hi, Lindsay, I'm putting the post up you told me to put up in class. How are you? We can engage in a lovely conversation about your product. We can engage in all sorts of discussing things. Or you can put up a post that says, I am so in love with my product and I'm stuck a little bit about how to sell it. How can I sell it? And I will tell you that with the clients I work with privately, their business has grown so tremendously because of their interaction, not only with me, but I can guarantee I'm going to interact and sing your praises. I can't stop. But one of my friends who I took a course from, I sang her praises so much that she filled a next course with a lot of people who had seen the interaction that I had had with her. So I love that you all are starting to build interactions with each other. I would suggest that you do start putting it around your businesses. And there are heartfelt ways that the two of you, that you all can start to connect with each other also. As simple as putting on another person's page. It's so great to be in class with you. Can you take a look at my website and let me know what you think? And put your website link. And that's not blatantly advertising, and I think all of you are really wanting to support one another. And then that exposes your website to those people. Even what I would say, if someone wants to take the reins on this, a brilliant thing to do is you can easily on Facebook invite all of your friends to join any X fan page, a like page. And so if everyone wants to list their fan pages and everyone wants to suggest to all their other friends that they join those pages, that's an easy way to get your numbers to grow quickly. That's not the thing we want to base everything on, but it certainly helps to wake up. One of my clients woke up this week. She's like, I have 1,200 people who like me. Last week it was like 800. What happened? And I was like, I worked on it a little bit. So these are just some ideas to get things flowing. And so I wanted to give you, in case it feels overwhelming or you haven't gotten a lot done, those are the real key things to look at and think about. I'm just going to check the chat because, trees in the background. I know it's freaking beautiful here. It's so funny to be here and look around. My mom lives on like 22 acres and it's really, my sister gave me a little thing that we were futzing around with that I probably won't wear in my wedding, but as I turn around. So, okay, now I'm wondering, you know what even I'm going to do? I'm going to give you a piece of your homework for this week before we get started on the next pieces because I think it follows this thread really well. One thing that I really want you all to do, and I'm going to let you organize it yourself, because I feel like I know that you're all capable of this, and I know a number of the things that I ask you to do require a little bit of self-starting and getting done. I think this will help that, but you also will need a little bit of, what's the word I want to use? A little get-to-itness, which is not the right word. I want everyone to find a mastermind partner. I would suggest that they be in this group. Yes, two of you may ask the same person, you may face rejection. That is very much the norm in business. It's very much the norm in social media. It's very much okay. But I want you all to start connecting with each other so that you have more accountability. I would suggest that you set up a structure where, if it were me, like every day, you're back and forth, even for 5 minutes. You can talk on the phone. You can do it via Twitter. You can do it visibly so everyone can see it. It's only going to engage people more with what you're doing. If people are hearing about the fact that you're growing your business and you're doing well, that is a huge attraction factor for people, and they'll love that. But I want you to get someone else, and you can structure it however you want. I would, if it were me, be like, this is the area where I'm challenged about the class. Like, I don't really feel like posting every single day on Facebook. So I'm just going to write you an email every day and tell you that I posted on Facebook. Or, I don't know if these are the 3 people that I should think up to. What do you think of these 3 people? Where do you think I can find them? Because when you have support, when you're in community with other people, and when you have accountability, it will absolutely change how you do things. And I think that's a way, it's sort of like, that's the advanced way to get a lot of value out of this class. So I really would recommend, and if you can't find someone in the class to do it with, that's okay also. You can find someone else. You can say, you know what? I'll trade you 5 minutes a day for 5 minutes a day. You can talk about whatever you want to or whatever you need to, or you can run your business ideas by me. I need to talk to you about what I'm doing in terms of my goals and my sales and my social media. And the brilliant, brilliant, brilliant piece of doing this is, and my mastermind partner's in this class, God bless her, is she can see things that I can't see about my business. It's just, like I loved, somebody said recently when they were speaking on stage in an event, do you think that God would have us do this alone? Like, that's crazy. We all need coaches, we all need teachers, we all need partners. If you run things by people, it not only allows them to see things about your business, but it gives you a role where you have strength, where you're able to see how smart you are, where you're able to give suggestions, and it sort of frees up the stuff that keeps us blocked. And so it puts you in, I did psychodrama forever, it's sort of like role theory. You want to try on a role where you feel good and strong about yourself, because then it's going to be much easier to go tweet or do whatever you need to do. So I would also suggest that. And please use the forum for that. Please use, whatever you need. And please, the online community can be, your answer to all your problems might be there. Put a post up and say, I am scared to death to ask for a mastermind partner, or I don't want a mastermind partner, or I'm not doing the homework and I don't plan on doing the homework. Whatever you'd like. But really realize that in this day and age, people are the thing that can grow your business. It is such a mind-boggling. When I was talking to somebody the other day about this peace project, it's like, no, not everyone in the world has social media, but it is to be able to instantly connect with millions of people is tremendous. And so really don't let that opportunity pass you by in this class. People in this class, I had a referral from a client who's now that client's referring me more business, and I have gotten so much business from this one client who wasn't a huge client at the beginning. It still actually isn't. I just keep gifting them things. But the amount of business and the amount of possibility of business that I have from this person is massive, much more so than any newsletter, website, speaking gig, anything I could have gotten. Because it's like, here's someone who can afford you, who wants you, I've told them about you, the deal's sealed. And then they're like, here are 5 other people we'd like you to work with. And so really realize that, like, the social, I'm a little relaxed, I think, so the social currency of the connections you can make here are massive. Okay, so that's one of those things. Now let's talk target market. And I can't believe this. My computer, the power is going to die. So you know what? I'm going to give you all a second in the chat room to start talking back and forth about who wants mastermind partners. And me and my relaxed self are going to go get my power cord so I don't die in 13 minutes. I will be right back. Okay, I see no one talking mastermind partners. Who needs a mastermind partner? No one needs a mastermind partner. I was going to offer something really amazing to the first person who put it out there. Yay! Okay, so I'm going to let you all keep cooking on the mastermind partners. And I would even type your name. The unfortunate thing is J.K. Graber. I can't even figure out. So I would even put your first name. Awesome, good. Yay! I love it. People are hooking up. You need to. We all need each other. We massively need each other. So feel free to trade emails, do whatever you need over there. I think it's really, 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 really important. Good. Love it. Okay, so if you're not in the chat right now, if you're listening to the recording, I will set up in the forum a place for everyone to find mastermind partners, and I'll help facilitate that. I will leave you all to make the decisions and figure out stuff, but there's no one in this group that I wouldn't mastermind with. The tremendous power of people, just because you're not comfortable with social media or sales goals or whatever, doesn't mean that you don't know everything about something else. There are mind-boggling resources in this group. So I would say hook it up. Okay, so next we're going to talk about your target market, and we're going to talk about figuring out what products they'll buy. And I'm going to put a cough drop in. Don't go to Missouri. You get relaxed, you need a cough drop. The alarm goes off in the back. Okay, no, Missouri's very good. So here's the deal. This is what I would suggest you do. Last week we talked about target market and we talked about figuring out an avatar. I loved the discovery that someone made in the forum that their target market actually is themselves. A lot of times that's just the case. A lot of times it really means you're on the right road also. So what we do want to do is get a picture of, and I love it, Lana Goldberg calls it your avatar for who the client is. So you do want to put that picture or that face or that name or the words that describe whoever that is above your computer. Because when you are posting, when you are tweeting, when you are interacting, that's the person you want to be speaking to. It's just like in acting classes, they would say, imagine the camera as someone that you're really comfortable with. So I would always think of my sister or my dog. So we'd be doing like commercial copy and I would be talking to my puppy. And it made me feel really warm and happy inside like this, and I felt like that. And it was really good for commercial stuff versus a camera. I feel like I need to be professional. And so you do want to get that like thrown up on your wall. The next thing you want to do is make sure that the people that you're in touch with on Facebook all the time, and I see I have the link thing down, so let me fix that link thing. Sorry, they require it every time. There we go. Sybil, I think you'll want to pop up again because I took the link off. So besides thinking of speaking to them and everything that you're doing, you also want to be interacting with those people all the time. So yes, the people that are your Think Up people and the people that are in this class may not be your ideal target market. I understand that. That's great. But if you are out looking for clients and you've realized that your target market is someone who is really accomplished in all areas of their life except their physical being, and they stay at home at night in bed and eat cookies, you want to be talking to that person all the time. And it's really important to be tuned into exactly who your target market is, because at least for me, and I don't know if this is the same thing with other people, I get really caught up in who I want my target market to be or who I think my target market is. And the deal is, if they're not eating cookies in bed every night, or if I don't think they are not my target market. And your target market, by finding them and zooming in on who they really are, on the psychographics of them, on the specifics on their heart, they are going to teach you so much about what you need to deliver to the world. I'm going to repeat that. Your target market is going to teach you so much about what you need to deliver to the world. I would have thought, quite frankly, that I would do this class and I would do a lot of ass kicking. I'd be like, do your homework, da 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 da. And it's not at all the way that it works. Like, I look at who's in here and I look at the vast accomplishments that you have, and then I look at the fact that this is still a little bit icky for a lot of you. And I think, I really love you all and I really want you to succeed. So what's the effective way that I can be? And so what I came up with tonight is, I kept thinking, Lindsay, be loving with them. Not at all what I would have thought, but if I were not in tune with that, you wouldn't get the results you need. And then what really is the point, So you've got your target market, and if not, continue to work on it. Continue to throw it up on the boards, let people discuss it with you. Throw it up on your social media. Ask people who they think your target market is. There's nothing wrong with any of this, because the deal is, they're going to fall in love with the essence of you. Except for like that Leonardo DiCaprio movie where he pretended to be somebody entirely different. We really fall in love with people we resonate with. We don't even know why we resonate with them sometimes. There is nothing wrong with being a new business owner. And you will have so many mentors. If you put up on your page, I have no idea who my target market is. Do you know how much advice you're going to get from people? And then you thread through it and figure out who you want. But the more people that you can get to invest in your business, to care about what you're doing, the better. And I don't know why this keeps coming into my head, but I'm just going to throw it out there for a moment. I was at an event, and there was a guy speaking, and he was talking about working with millionaires. First of all, he said, get a millionaire in your mastermind group. And I freaking love that, and I did that after that event, and it has changed my life in brilliant ways. Brilliant ways. And this guy's awesome. And then the other thing he said, and I'm just throwing this out there because it keeps coming up in my head, he said the way to work with people who have a lot of affluence is, first of all, you bond with them, as we've talked about before. Then additionally, what you do is you offer them something for free. And he didn't break it down quite that way, but he said, and this is totally paraphrased at this point, but if you do something out of love with no expectation of return, that really works well a lot of times for people with a lot of money. And I have to say, for some reason, that's been something that's really worked for me. So it's bounced around my head 3 times during this call, so I'm giving it to you. Hopefully maybe that'll be the ka-ching moment for somebody. So, how do you find out what your target market will buy? Grab your pen and paper if you've got it. Here we go. First of all, what we want to do is want to look at your goal. And we want to start by going, okay, so if my goal is to make $4,000 a month from my business, you need to back into that. You need to sort of take a look, and we're going to do 2 different things. You can go, okay, I need to do 10 $400 sessions with people. Great. You just need to be aware that the math is going to need to add up. You don't want to have some nebulous, like, I want to make $4,000 a month and absolutely no plan for it. But this is what's really key, and this is how you use social media to figure out exactly what people will purchase and what they won't. Write posts like, I've been thinking about launching a new product. What kind of handbag would you all like to see? I mean, I wouldn't just put, like, what kind of product would you like to see, because you may not be called to make, like, Q-tip holders, and they may want you to make Q-tip holders. So I would put some parameters around it in terms of what you're doing. Like, what kind of handbag would you like to see? Or if you're more established in business and you've been doing a lot of coaching for a long time, you can say, and I know someone who did this and did tremendously well, I've been wondering what kind of new product can I help you with. She did fitness and nutrition. And she was like, what is your biggest concern about your body? She got back a totally different answer than she would have ever expected. The people who need you know exactly what they need. I would jot that one down too, that the people who need you, they know exactly what they need. And in essence, we are all really here to serve one another. If you're going to get money for something, you're doing some type of service. So start by putting those kinds of questions up. People get so invested the moment that you give them a voice in your process. Quite frankly, those are the people who honestly very often will purchase from you. If you haven't done the assignment from the first week, that's about asking 3 people about your business and asking for the good, bad, and the ugly, or the good, bad, and the suggestions. That's actually what it was. Good, bad, and ugly sounded fun, so I went there. People, when they start to give you their feedback, when they go, no, I think you should do a retreat that happens for 3 days, people will take Friday off, but you should also add like some sort of overnight component rather than having them go sleep somewhere else. You should find a hotel where they all stay together. You have people in your hand who are probably going to buy, who are telling you exactly what they're going to buy. You constantly need to be in communication with your folks about it. And here's some other tips about it. Excuse me as I take my cough drop out. These are an amalgamation of approaches that I think work well. And let me know. Some will resonate for you, some will work for you, some won't, but they're all mind-blowing. So just get your mind blown somewhere along the way. I know of someone who always suggests you put in a low-priced item because you need to figure out if people can actually get their credit card out and use it. There are a lot of people who are going to be out there for free content, and they're just never going to break that barrier of actually buying something. So I think it's an interesting thing, and it's something that I've started practicing lately. I started offering a $39 product. I never offered that in my life. And for me, it hasn't been really effective, which has been fine. So people don't need a $39 product from me. That's actually nice. I'm actually quite cool with that. I just wanted to see if that would work. But if you are a new business and you're priced at a higher price point, offer something that's less expensive to see if you've got people that are connected with you who are going to purchase, to see if you're in touch with your target market. And I know that there are people on this call who've got a product that's a particular price. Well, think about offering, because here's the thing. We put ourselves in this box. We come up with a product on our own, in our head. This is what I'm going to offer. It needs to be this particular thing. I am not offering anything else. It's not going to happen. Well, the deal is that the world may not need that particular thing. So for instance, I know there's someone in our class who has a particular price point on a lovely pillow. Perhaps that's not the price point people are going to start at. However, you know a multitude of things about sleep habits, eco-friendly, non-wrinkle face, fabrics, all sorts of stuff. You can do a report for $9 on how not to get wrinkles on your face. And in the report, you can put that they can buy this pillow. It's a no-brainer. Another idea. Put something really expensive in your offerings. And I would say, lots of people have stuff about wealth consciousness. If you haven't picked up Think and Grow Rich yet, please pick it up. If you want to start reading it every day in the morning with me, please contact me and I'll start doing that because I need to do that. You need to have a $5,000 product. And if you don't have a $5,000 product, you need to have a $20,000 product if you do have a $5,000. You need something. I don't care if it's that you're going to spend the year living in their house and consulting them on nutrition, and you better not charge $20,000 for that. You absolutely need to have one product because first off, your perceived value goes up tenfold. If the only thing you have to offer is $30, there's just some sort of assumption that people make when you offer something for $10,000 that you have the value for $10,000. And you need to feel comfortable with what you're offering. Like a $10,000 product needs not to be like an hour on the phone unless you're really confident that that's the value of what you're offering at that. But I challenge each of you to figure out a product that is like so challenging to all of your scarcity beliefs that it blows your mind. Throw it on your website. Probably not throw it on your Facebook page today. I mean, you can. If you're an established business and you're selling $5,000 stuff, actually, let me not forget about you. Throw up a $50,000 product. There are a million things that you can offer to substantiate that value. They can have daily phone contact with you. Do you know how many people are in pain about so many things? And if you can transform that for them, they are more than happy to pay that amount. They can have email access to you. You can put together a special team of coaches who will come and transform their life. It's a wonderful way to do JVs. Then it better be like 150,000 because you better still be getting the 50,000. But put something out there. Let the universe know that you mean business. Put a product out there that is the entire amount of money that you want to make in these 3 months. Because if you're not really giving the opportunity for massive sales to come in. And then the other thing I would say, I love this idea. Lisa Sasevich says you don't build an airplane while you're flying it. I just butchered that. I know Kathleen's on the line. Maybe Kathleen can correct me in the chat room because I don't think that even makes sense. But the idea being this. We can spend so much time thinking about the perfect program, the perfect project, the perfect whatever that we're going to offer people. You can spend 6 months putting it all together, and then it's something that no one will buy. And that is a tremendous loss for you and for the people who need you. So for instance, when I thought of my $39 product, I just threw it up on my page. I was doing a free call. I was like, I'm not selling anything. I should try to sell something. So I just offered it. I didn't even really, I know the substance of it. I know what I'm doing, but I thought about it before I even created the product, quite frankly. I put the offering out there to see if people were interested, to see if people wanted it. Do a free teleclass that's about some great idea you have. SurveyMonkey, and I'll put the link up for that really quickly, is www.surveymonkey.com. If you have a list, you can send that out to your list. You can go to SurveyMonkey for free and create questions and then put a link on your social media pages. You can put a SurveyMonkey together and you have got a group of 20 amazing people in this class who will respond to it. Ask questions. Ask, what's your biggest pain around wrinkles or aging? What is your biggest pain around sexuality? If you could ask me any question in the world about your finances, what would it be? And then what you want to find out from people is what package they want to receive it in. Like teleclasses, people are not so keen on anymore. Ustream, people love it. Teleclasses, I have to be honest, I have this list of stuff. Today I did a good setup so I can actually see my list. But all of a sudden when I started doing Ustream calls, I was like, what do I do with all the notes that I've got on the class? I can't believe, what am I doing? But Ustream is a lot more intimate. People can chat during it. People enjoy it so much more. So you may think, well, it's just because I really want to send them booklets in the mail, so I'm not going to have any live interaction because they need to see this book. Well, people may want the live interaction. They may not want the book, or they may want a book. If you're talking about numbers all day, they may need stuff in front of them, and suggesting they write it down with paper and pen may not be okay. You may need to do some sort of webinar, and you may need to learn a new technology. But now that you've started to get your target market connected with yourself, ask them what they want. And I would say, rather than an open-ended question like, what do you want from me? Unless you're pretty certain that I can sort of do that with my friends, and they'll let me know what they think. Or a lot of my clients, though they're not on social media, if I put anything on Facebook, they never respond because they're not doing their social media. So I have to send emails. But you can put on social media if you're established and if you've got a decent amount of clients that are there already, what can I offer you that would be of value? However, if you've got, under 2,000 friends, I would say start by saying, my desire is to change the way that women feel about their bodies. How can I help you? It's a great opening one. And you'll get people who want you to actually coach them for free and that sort of thing. But if you start from that genuine of a place, you're going to really open up a conversation that's going to be really powerful. Another key thing is, and this is where I see people fail all the time, is they've got in their mind what their product looks like, what the delivery of it looks like, what the price point is, and it won't sell. And the deal is, then throw up questions like, what do you think of 8 weeks of coaching and 3 intensives? Does that sound like a package that would interest you? And again, you're throwing it in a public forum, so you're going to get people who are going to say all sorts of bizarre stuff that aren't the people who will actually be buying it from you. But you will have a lot of people, and this is what's key about interacting with people this way in social media, interacting with them in this way, is that when you start to say things like, I solve people's home buying problems, how can I help you? Almost everyone who responds to that post is your target market. It's like they've raised their hand and they've said, I need your help. When else have you had the chance in life to know exactly who your buyers are? To have them step out of the dark and raise their hand and say, oh yes, I would like you to help me. And then you can engage with them on a multitude of levels. But here are some key things to know. It only takes one person buying a $10,000 package to totally change these 3 months for you. And they may be willing to do that. So again, you need to think outside the box. You need to not think just in terms of what you're doing. If your sales are blowing off the charts right now, you need to keep doing what you're doing because it's really smart and good. And there are other pieces that we can talk about. But since I assume most of you are wanting more sales, since that's part of what this class is to deliver, if what you're doing now in terms of the structures is not working, you need to shift it and you need to change it up. And the worst case scenario problem that you will have is that you'll have 50 people order a $39 product and you'll have to create a $39 product. Fabulous. So while we're at this point, I'm going to give you the other assignment for this week. And I love this assignment. And it's going to, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe everyone will love it too. I hope you do. But this is something that will totally change your business. And I know there are some of you who won't do it. That's fine. I know there's some of you who will feel like it's not the right time to do it. That's fine also. But what I will say to you is that this will totally change your life. I want each of you in the next week to schedule a Ustream show for yourself. And I would schedule it about a week out. People respond to things. People are most on social media between Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays are brilliant. Monday, everybody's getting caught up at work, and they don't really have time to pay attention. And if you send out a Facebook event invite over the weekend, nobody's going to read it. All of us have lives. We're way too busy. Tuesday, though, we're sort of bored with our job. And so if you send out, if you plan it this week and send it out this coming Tuesday, and I would absolutely do a Facebook invite. Now when you create events on Facebook, they give you the opportunity to hook up with eventbrite.com to do tickets. Generally, you don't want to charge for your first one. Eventbrite is another way to give a little link, which is sort of fun if you want to do that. But I would just start with do a Facebook event. Go to socialoomph.com. You really want to be posting on Twitter, especially morning times, and morning times East Coast and West Coast, especially Tuesday through Thursday. Weekends, you want to post more like noon, 4. But you need to be posting on Facebook daily. You need to go to LinkedIn and you need to check the box that's got the little blue T so that it connects all of your Twitter posts to LinkedIn. Unless you're doing status updates on LinkedIn all the time, which I would be surprised if anyone does that. And you need to, on Social Oomph, connect with your Twitter account so that it is doing timed tweets. And actually, if you'll look at Shauna, who's in this class, she has been doing tweets for her upcoming Fear Telesummit, which is free. And she very generously offered to have me as one of the speakers on there. So if you search my Twitter name, if you enter, and I'll just enter it in the chat box for ease right here. But if in the search box which is on the right hand side of the page, you enter my name, all one word, you'll see the tweets that Shauna's doing for the class, and they're brilliant. And I can tell they're automated. It probably even says what program she uses underneath it. But she has 2 different businesses, so she has 2 Twitter accounts, and she's writing things like the return on investment of social media is that your business will still be here in 5 years. Listen to Lindsay Wilson at my free telesummit, and then she puts the link. Social media goddess, Lindsay Wilson, blah, blah, blah. So you don't want to have the same tweet that goes out every day, because you need to, again, think of, okay, who is my target market? And she's dealing with fear and people who are afraid. And so when she says the return on investment is that social media is that your business will be here in 5 years, that's going to play to people who are scared, because they're going to be afraid their business isn't going to be around that long. So absolutely that's going to catch them. When she says social media goddess, that's just freaking cool, and I keep retweeting it, which is really smart, because then she's getting exposure to all of my people. And her telesummit is full of all sorts of people and full of things that people can purchase later. And that's brilliant, because I sit there and I hit retweet, 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 retweet. So my people constantly see it, and they can go there and they can buy something from her that's about me. Brilliant, brilliant. So you want to think about who are like the 5 different people that might buy this, or what are the things that would appeal to the 5 people so that they would come to this class. You can even put, I'm so scared, I'm doing my first Ustream thing, and tag Ustream on Twitter and on Facebook if you enter the @ sign and followed by Ustream, if you fanned or liked their page, excuse me, and if you are following them on Twitter, it'll pop it on both of those. And another Ustream trick is you need to have a photo entered for your logo on your Ustream account, which takes about 2 seconds to set up. And then if you're doing a show at a time no one else is doing, it will become a featured show, possibly, and be on the front page. I've been on folks, and so then you get all sorts of traffic from there also. If you have a product, I don't care if you spend the entire time just talking about your product. What I would actually really recommend you do, and this is stepping it up a little, but you all can do this for each other. I mean, like, I don't know if you all realize the power that you all have together. But if one of you decides to moderate for the other one, what's brilliant is during the moderation, someone can be popping up your contact information, they can be popping up your website. They can also make sure, because anyone, unless you do a password protected Ustream, can come on and they can say all sorts of stuff, and a lot of it will be like, take off your shirt, so you want to get those people off. So if someone else is moderating, that's great. But you can do Q&A also on Ustream, so you can be like, if you're Kay, you can be like, these are my wonderful new mantles, aren't they gorgeous? And this show is to talk about how I make them. Your friends are going to come, you have your first live show. Your friends are totally going to be there and be cheering you on. Tell each other, put the schedule up in the class, have each other there cheering each other on. And then ask people if they have questions. What you need is relationship with people. I don't care if you've got product, I don't care if you have service. I don't care, honestly, if you sit and pick your nose there the whole time. You'll be extremely popular. I coughed my way through I was on a show with Michael Gerber from the E-Myth. I think it's still on the front page of my webpage. I coughed my way through most of the thing. I got off and I put a tweet, and I was like, hysterical. Want to watch me laugh my way through, cough my way through Michael Gerber? And I put it as a tweet. I'm sure people watched just to watch me cough. Did it hurt my business? No. So, do a Ustream show. I don't care what it's about. You need to start involving people on a visceral level. You need to be connecting with people in the way that I'm connecting with you right now. This is working for you. If this class is working for you, if you signed up from this class from a Ustream call, from a Ustream show, you understand the power of it. If it's something that you're responsive to, your target market is most likely responsive to it. So you set it up, you send out the invite on a Tuesday. Send out a reminder. I would suggest doing two things. Send out a reminder to everyone with a catchy phrase in the title. So I would not send out, and you will all see these every day, do not do the ones that are gross. You haven't responded to my thing, and why aren't you coming, and stuff like that. Instead, you can put in your title line, I really want to help you, ... Or, like if you're Kay, do you ever feel so cozy and safe? When was the last time you felt cozy, safe, and warm? Brilliant. I would open that. The problem is a lot of times on these events that people simply don't open the invitations. So at the beginning when you're doing the invites, you do want to send it to the people who have responded, to the people who put a maybe, and the people who have not responded at all. Because if they've not responded, most likely they haven't even seen the invite because they have to scroll down so far. So as you grow, I would say no, you don't constantly want to send everyone every time an update. But after, and I'll put the technicalities of this because I know I'm not being really clear, I'll put the links and that sort of thing in the forum. But at the beginning, you just want traction. If they're not going to show up for a free Ustream call, they're probably not going to buy a product either. I mean, maybe. But what we're really looking for is creating buzz and energy around what you're doing. And you don't need to sell anything. You don't need to, I would even say you don't necessarily want to sell a thing during your show. Those are really effective because it takes the heat off of you. And I would just say it's a great time to interview your target market. Do it as an experiment to ask them what they buy from you. Brilliant. I just came up with that. I think that's a brilliant idea. And I would also say, you know, I have one client who lately we've been asking people what time they would watch the Ustream show. Typically 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern works for a lot of people. Weekends tend not to work as well. You could do daytime, but you have to realize, like, is your target market at work during the day? And then what you want to do also is send a reminder out before you do it, and post it on your page. Tweet it out. Because there are people who will be available just at that moment and bored, and they'll come. There will be people that you will swear will show up, and they absolutely will not. But it's a really wonderful way to get you interacting. It's like if you're, here's a horrible analogy, but if you want to be like the dance star of the universe, the ballroom dance champion, but you're never out there on the dance floor, it ain't going to happen. So if you're wanting interaction and you're wanting sales from people, the key word is people, and we need to get you out there and interacting with people, and we need to get you to a bigger, larger audience. So, do a Ustream show this week. And it may seem like, okay, Lindsay says do a Ustream show. What does that have to do with what I'm actually doing in terms of my sales? Make sure you have your links for your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, website. Pop all those up. You'll be amazed the amount of people who will start to follow you and bond with you and talk to you there. And additionally, if you feel like you're ready for it, and I would suggest, I mean, you don't have to sell a thing, but freaking go for it. And the way that I found that works really effectively is in the middle of the thing to say, I'm going to take a halftime break and tell you a little bit more about how you can find out more about me. And what you want to do is from the get-go, just set the expectation that an hour is not enough time with you. You can even put this in your Facebook event invite if you want to. I'm going to teach you about how I make the vanity pillow, 5 secrets on how you can not get wrinkles, and one of those secrets can be the vanity pillow that Pamela's selling. We'll talk about 3 ways to make eco-friendly your sleeping environment. And plus much more. And that plus much more can be, you know, and then it's like buy 2, get 1 free of the vanity pillow at the end. And whatever the offer is that you need to make, this is key. It needs to be time limited. Because otherwise I go, oh, that was great, I'm gonna buy one of those pillows, and then it's a week later and I've done other stuff and I don't get it done, even if I intended to. And, you know, it even is smart sometimes to offer some sort of free bonus if you all hook up with each other. I mean, it's like, so I'm going to teach you all about style. I'm going to sell you my ebook on style. And if you sign up tonight, you get my friend Pamela's 5 top secrets to not developing wrinkles. Brilliant. Because all of a sudden, you all have totally cross-marketed and gotten a target market that you all would not know at all from one another. And the deal is, like, if I introduce you to my friend who's an accountant, the chance that you're going to use him and like him if I say he's amazing is like 10 times higher than if you go on Google and have to find an accountant. It just is. And it's not just because of the personal relationship, it's because of the ease. I think what we forget sometimes is that the ease that you need to give people in purchasing from you is key. So I didn't even think I'd talk about this, but I'm going to talk about this a little bit because I really want to give you specifics, and I am watching your social media. And when you're not doing some of the things I'm suggesting, I'm like, why? But I'm going to keep giving tips because I know that they're helpful. And I know also they may, 6 months from now, one of these pieces of information may sink in and you go, oh my gosh. So when you do posts on Facebook, Twitter, etc., what you need to do is include a link so that it hyperlinks so that someone can click on it and purchase. So for instance, don't put, like if I'm trying to sell you this class, I don't put http www.socialmediaheaven.com because then you've got to go find the class. And at that point, it's just crappy customer service. Like if I owned a store and I was like, over there's my $500 social media class, help yourself. Like that would be fairly rude and not particularly helpful. I need to give you that whole link /class.html. And when you go there, that's a page simply with the information on this class. You can get to the rest of the website from there, but it needs to be like they click once on Twitter or they click once on Facebook and then they click to pay. And it really must be that simple. If you are not set up for it to be that simple, you are screwing yourself out of sales left and right. No one has time anymore. If I have to go to your site and like click through and try to find something, I start making assumptions. And it's not good, but it's just the way all of us are. We think, oh my gosh, this person, like, how good is their product going to be if I have to click 3 different pages to find it? How, if I'm going to their main page and I can't even find the product they were talking about, like, the doorbell could ring. I mean, how many windows do I leave open on my computer? There are 5 million things I think about purchasing. This is something I thought of in theater, and I just think that this is really true and really important. Every time I step onto stage, everyone in the audience really wants me to be the best performance they've ever seen. That's what they've paid their money for. Yes, there are a couple people there that are probably hoping that I'll fall on my face and stink, because that's the way people are. People are just wired different ways. But the majority of the people are not thinking, oh, I just can't wait to complain about her. They're thinking, oh my gosh, if this is like the best performance in the world, this will rock. My $20 theater ticket was so worth it. It's the same thing. When people come to your website, when people come to your social media page, when somebody's sitting around eating cookies in bed every night, like I can't believe this. I tweet about the wedding stuff. I've decided I want to be a little bit more personal on Twitter. I want to see if I can get more traction with friends. And honestly, I like the support. I like talking about my wedding and having people support me. It feels really good. And that's why I would suggest the wedding thing is my goal for this amount of time. I would suggest you talk about the struggles you have with your business. It feels fabulous. The kind of support that you will get will like catapult you beyond what you even know. I have had people who have suggested, I didn't know where to start. People have suggested the best blogs, the best websites. It's saved my life. So I started tweeting about weddings. Not one single wedding person has found me. And I am blown away. And so today I put like the hashtag sign in front of it, the numerical sign, which allows people to search things. So for instance, if you've not seen on our site, our hashtag is this. It stands for Massive Sales Via Social Media. It's hashtag or the pound sign MSVSM. And then what happens is you can search that and you can find everyone who's talked about that. And so it's an easy way to be in conversation with people. It's an easy way to group all those people together. It's an easy way to promote something. So I put hashtag wedding. I was like, oh, I know people have got to have that set to find. No one has come to me and found me yet about that, and I cannot believe it. Tweepsearch.com, I believe, is the way that you can do keywords, and I'm just going to check that for you all. Yep, you can enter keywords in there like wedding if you were selling stuff for weddings. And then anyone who puts the word wedding in their tweets, you will find. So you can go find sex. Someone in our course deals with healthy sexuality. You can find things about baby clothes. You can find things. Whatever your keywords are, enter them in there. Every day you'll get a load of things. Let's see. So if I enter wedding, let's find out what's going on and why nobody's finding me. Perhaps it's just in the bios. No. No, it's like all of these people who want wedding stuff. Where are the wedding people on Twitter? Bottom line, people really need and want you and need your help. And they may need it in a different way than you think that it's necessary. It is crucial to be flexible about this piece. I've totally gone over time and I apologize. If you know that your mission is to transform the way people dress, does it really matter if it's a $3,995 package for 5 people, or if it's a $15,000 person, one person for a $15,000 package, or if it's 15 $1,000 packages? Does it really matter? Figuring out that hourly you're making the same thing because you don't want to not charge enough. Do you really care how that gets delivered to people? If they want it in an ebook rather than in the mantle they wear, if they are desperate to find out about like ecological sleeping products, and you can have a whole line of sheets and canopies and all sorts of stuff, and it's not just a pillow, does that matter? No. So this week I really encourage you to tap into the people in pain that you have the elixir and the salve for. How can you deliver what you need so they can receive it? And so some of these questions are sort of open-ended, but if you start from this mind frame, what I'm going to do is we have an upcoming free Q&A call, which is on June 1st. And we are going to get seriously specific there. So I know I've given loads of content that's been broad about sales strategy, sales goals, target market, and now figuring out what your products are and your services are and price points. And so during that Q&A, what I want you to bring is what your goal is. Ding, 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 ding. How you're doing on that goal. If sales are pouring in already, that's awesome. And who your target market is, what their pain is. And I'm going to spend time with you really dissecting it down and giving you, like, here's a plan, here's a way to do it. So, trust me, take the broader information, take it to heart, listen to those calls, partner up, brainstorm, let this be expansive. Also, don't feel hard pressed if it's too much to absorb and do all at once. You've got the recordings for the rest of your days. And on the 1st, we'll be doing at the same time, same place, same phone number. a Q&A where we'll really break those things down. As I've said before, feel free to send in your questions to support@coachlindsay.com if you have other questions that you really need answered during that Q&A. I will try to get to them also. And let's see. I think there's one question over on the chat, so I'm going to break my own rule. Julia wants to know, can you post social media URLs here again? Absolutely. Please do. Go for it. I mean, here's the other thing that I would say. Oh, that's awesome. Claudia wants to know if I'll be her partner. I love that you asked, Claudia. I don't think that I count as a partner because what I really want you all to do is bond with other people also. Yay, but there you've got a great offer for one. So feel free to throw your social media URLs up there again. Or there's a continuing discussion on Facebook and you on our Ning site, and you can always delete your prior answers and then post your new one. So, yay. Yay! I feel good about class tonight. Do you guys feel good about class tonight? I hope so. I hope so. There are great things coming. There are great things coming for all of us. And I really appreciate you being here. And I think, yeah, good. People are saying it's challenging and aha moments. That's good stuff. And so we will move out of the sort of, it's not really ethereal, but sort of the general kinds of ways of thinking about things to the more specific as the further classes are coming up. But I think that it's just, if you don't get this piece, if you don't learn that it's not about the way that you deliver it, it's about delivering the transformation and getting it to as many people as you can in the way that they need it, then you're really missing purpose. I mean, I think that it's like when we're really in touch with our purpose, our sales fly out the window. And when we're open to being in relationship with people who need us, that's when things really, really take off. So it's also very fulfilling to do it that way. I mean, what a great thing to feel really like you're living your purpose. And so that's what's key. Yay! So I'm going to go back to, I'm not really going to wedding plan tonight. I think I'm going to sleep so I can go see my cute grandma tomorrow morning. But it has been a pleasure being here with you all. And yeah, and feedback also. Here I'm practicing what I'm preaching. If the homework is too overwhelming, if whatever obstacles are coming up, I'm inviting you all to post that on the Ning site also. I really want to be in touch with what's going on with you all because I really want you to receive what I have to deliver. So you all can keep chatting on the chat stream over here. Feel free. And I am going to 13 minutes late in our recording. But thank you all for being with me tonight. It's been a pleasure. Okay. Take care.